home of motorsport, where that is the British Grand Prix. The first ever F1 race was held way back in 1950. I must admit, I can only just remember it when I was a young nipper, of course. Yeah, so absolutely. So yeah, this race has been a fixture of the Formula 1 calendar for a very long time, hasn't it? So it's it's really good, isn't it, to be here at the British Grand Prix? And yeah, before we get into anything too heavy, let's just quickly get the stream up on the thing, share it across the world, and we are around 10. Blimey, I got a bit of that. So I've also got a bit. So you might have to bear with me. And we've got the track map just in the background there. So of course the British Grand Prix, the famous it's the famous pit builders now, isn't it? Of course, 18 turns around the Silverstone Circuit. Of course, this was modified, wasn't it, back in 2011? And of course, 3.6 miles long. It's quite a long old lap here. 26 laps will be they'll be circulating around, and of course the weather as well. Throw that into a spanner. Throw that into the works as well. So just take a quick look to make sure we're all good to go. Unfortunately, Mr. Elite is going to be a bit late coming in because of the update. I must admit, I think I had a little panic. I think it was Wednesday where I switched switched F1 on for the first time, and I was like, oh blimey, it started to download. It's quite a hefty old update as well, isn't it? Yeah, hopefully Mr. Lee can get himself in here, and it's great to have you all along with us today. Jonathan Cox said straight on the comment straight away, Jonathan is. But I was going to say that he's got I think he's got a quali ban tonight. I'm sure he just messaged me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jonathan has a qualifying ban for. Unfortunately, he came back on the track in a slightly dangerous manner, and unfortunately took out both the Dans, and so it was a big old smash. I must admit, to be honest, it looks spectacular, I gotta say. Jonathan Cox also put in the comments saying good evening, Sean, and good luck to all the drivers tonight. Absolutely echo that as well. I've got 17 drivers here as well. Where a laggy racer might be joining us a bit later on as well. He's out partying and having a good old time, so a laggy might be joining us a bit later. And we'll go through the runners and riders as soon as we get into it as well. And Nigel is hoping for rain tonight. Well, that's interesting. We'll see what. Well, Nigel, that's unusual for a driver to be hoping for rain. As yeah, Elliot Fisher will be joining us in the commentary box momentarily, and he'll be talking us through his qualifying lap and what he's doing fairly soon. So we'll get Fisher in the commentary box as well in a few minutes. We've got Wishbone also in the commentary. We got 3 players in here tonight. I didn't even see anyone else come in before we talked to Wishbone and the mystery driver who else is in here. We'll quickly go through the we'll quickly go. Fisher's in here as well. Yeah, so excellent stuff. Let's go through the drivers and championship, shall we? And I tell you what's getting very close to the top. As Gunnar is hoping for some Irish weather tonight. I hope not, really. Yeah, we don't want it too wet and windy, do we? In the drivers' championship, then Emerson Emerson is top of the table on he is on 112 points at the moment. It's gone a bit pear-shaped for Emerson in the last couple of races. From a neutral point of view, I'm loving it. Obviously, Emerson's a very quality driver, isn't he? He really turned the division on its head, didn't he, when he debuted back in Azerbaijan? But yeah, so it seems that France and Austria didn't really go his way. Jonathan Cox got a full quality ban, so he'll be hopefully he would take us through some of the also have some of the inside scoop as well. But yeah, Emerson is leading at the moment. Knowlesy is skiving again, so he's on holiday, so he's going to lose ground in the championship. But I hope he's having a good time up there. He has been directing orders as well from over in, I can't even remember where he is. I think he's in Spain, which is probably completely wrong. Farf is the leader at the beginning of the season. Is only 14 points back now. It's getting really bunched up as well. And Granty is only 16 points back as well. That's a fantastic top four, isn't it? Emerson, Knowlesy, Farf, and Granty all split 16 points. It's incredible, isn't it? Dan Murphy's had a bit of a rough run in, as of late, so he's dropped back. He's now 57 points behind. We got Silent Shift in at the moment. He's win or bust at the moment, isn't he? Silent Shift. He might need a bit of concern. a bit of a bit of consistency. We've got Nigel, of course, the former champion, on 45 points. Jonathan Cox on 42 as well. He started on the season so well, didn't he? He's dropping down at the moment. And of course, Wishbone has made such an impact since coming to the series. 40 points already, incredible stuff. And of course, we got Fireshot as well on 37 points. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And guys, it's great to have you along with us. We're 2 minutes into the session. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, you?
Yeah, not too bad. I had a rough weekend, but you know, we onwards and upwards.
Life goes on.
Yep, exactly. And Wishbone, how are you doing?
Flatto.
Excellent stuff.
Flatto.
And we just got a couple of comments there as well. Hunter has just put in the comments, what Irish river? Rain, snow, wind and Guinness. Wow. We'll ask a Wishbone to comment on that in a minute. And also Jonathan Cox, he's just retired due to a quality ban. So Jonathan Cox making sure I'm up with the times, which is very unlike me, I must admit. The only reason I remember about Jonathan Cox's quality ban because he messaged me literally 2 minutes ago. So just watching Crazy Hitman come out of the pits now. And of course, Elliot is going to take us around Silverstone, and also going to talk us about the track as well and what he's doing in the car. So when Elliot gives us the nod, we'll go on board with Elliot, and he will talk us around this magnificent Silverstone circuit. Wishbone is also here to provide some inside scoop as well as to what he's doing as well. So we've got two very experienced drivers in the commentary box this evening, which is absolutely fantastic stuff. Steve, remember Wishbone got pole position in the dying moments of Austria, didn't he, last week? And his reaction was live. I love that. That was fantastic stuff. It was an absolutely beautiful lap. It really was. From Wishbone, just watching Crazy Hitman at the moment. He's having a bit of troubles with these cars this season, isn't he? He's got to try and get some consistency in, doesn't he? Because he had an almighty crash, didn't he, in Austria, between just out of 7 and 8 it was a vile crash as well. Yeah, he's back on it, and he's raring to go out there at the moment. We are aiming to lose one driver in this qualifying session because Jonathan Cox has got a qualifying ban. So who is going to be the man that's going to be taking the walk of shame? Well, I hope it's none of the men that's in the commentary box tonight. But guys, just before we get into any of the action out there, what do you guys think of this circuit? I know we touched on it last week in Austria, but yeah, now you're here and living it live. What do you reckon about it? Let's start with you first, Wishbone.
Oh, she's a cracker. It's a good one.
Excellent stuff. I must admit, I think
there's nothing hard. There's nothing easy about it. Everything is always difficult, especially through then. Was it sector 2? Then you got to just stay with her through there, and then in the last sector you be fucking driving her straight sideways. Man, I'm telling you, it's mad.
And what about you, Fisher?
Sorry, I prefer the old track, I'll be honest. The loop section's a bit crap. But I mean, it's still a great circuit to drive. I think, obviously, I don't know how much you're on the throttle for here. I'd say easily 85% plus, and it's all about nailing every single part of the track and getting everything right to get the perfect lap. And you know if you have or you haven't. You know, where Wishbone is right now through Maggots and Beckett's and then down into the hanging straight is probably the best part of this game, I'd say, and the past few games. It's just exciting to drive, especially with the cars that have got a ridiculous amount of downforce. You just keep it pinned and hope the rear end doesn't try to kill you at some point.
And you're a man after my own heart as well, the track as well, because I missed the bridge complex. That very
bridge. It was a fun little part of the track.
It was, wasn't it? And it really, to be honest, it scared me on some of the old games as well. I must admit, I was kind of hanging on by the seat of my pants going through there. It was a fantastic corner. Just watching Crazy Hitman then coming across the through the final part of the course. Now, of course, remember, Fisher had a great time here in the Invitational a couple of weeks ago, and it's a 30.333. So good time there from Crazy Hitman. Then I think that's a good baseline. Can he build on that now? So of course, as we said, Crazy Hitman on a bit of a slump at the moment in his ALR career, but hopefully he can get that built up now. At the moment, and once again, Fisher, you're back in the Mercedes again, and you're starting to build some momentum now. How have you found this series? Are you enjoying it at the moment? I must admit, the last 2 races, unfortunately, in France and Austria, you've been pointing the wrong way though in the first lap. Apart from that.
apart from that, it's been good. I mean, some really strong racing here. Obviously, a few guys that I raced with in another league, and it's good to sort of keep competing with those guys because they're getting stronger as the game comes through. Obviously, I started quite strongly at the beginning of the year, and everyone's starting to find out little tips and bits and pieces. And sort of find out how to maximise the handling model more than anything on this game because it has changed quite a bit from the last one. But yeah, overall I'm enjoying it. It's a fun little league and it's competitive towards the front, especially at the business end of Q3. It's everyone appears to gain a few tenths out of nowhere, so it's quite fun.
And like Wishbone really pulled out of the bag last week, didn't he? He said a 31
yesterday.
No, so he's in your bad books. So Wishbone, well, not yet anyway. Wishbone has gone to a 31-3 at the moment. Then in the Renault, as we got all comments flying at the moment. Absolutely great stuff. I'll read them all in just a few moments. So as we're just watching Exile at the moment, he had a fantastic race in Austria. He got his first ever podium of his ALR career. That was a brilliant drive from Exile, and really I feel that I must admit there was so much going on. I really didn't really give Exile much credit really, but he had a fantastic race in Austria. And Austria, I got to say, was one of the craziest races you'll ever see. We had a bit of rain, then all of a sudden it dried up as well. A great bit of I thought it was a fantastic strategy call from Granty. He came in. I thought he came in a lap too early for the rain, but he absolutely nailed it. So did you, Wishbone, as well, if I recall. Both of you came in on the same lap, and that was the perfect lap to be on. So how did you time that well? Was that just experience? Did Jeff tell you, or how did you get that so right?
Well, all the credit has to go to the team, if I'm honest. Just them calling us in the exact same time. All the people back at the factory, you know, they're every step of the way, and hopefully we push forward now and we show them the appreciation that they deserve, and hopefully we'll bring home a win tonight, and we'll make our step forward to the top of the table, because that is our ultimate aim.
It is indeed. You're already in ninth already. Fisher, on board as you right now in the Mercedes. Did you want to? I know we've got by your least favourite part of the circuit now. Do you want to take us through the rest of it then?
Yeah. So coming through here, you can brake quite deep, which is quite a fun corner to go for. You kind of can maximise it, and there's this corner here. I'm not the best with names, but you can take multiple lines through it. Depends how much of an exit you want, whether you want to gain time on entry or exit. This corner here is absolutely terrifying. It's completely flat, but I'll have a lift for now. The car didn't feel 100% out, and then coming through Magus and Beckett, you kind of just hold on for the roller coaster ride through the left, right, shift down a bit, down another gear, just ride the curb, try not to touch the grass on the exit, and basically exactly what I just did, just go purple through the middle. Go into A, switch down on ERS mode through the corner. You could have used it here if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. And then brake as late as you dare through here, but you want to make sure you get a nice clean exit. And then short shifting around this corner, and then bring it across the line. Pretty decent lap, I feel that.
That is a very decent lap as well. To be honest, when we was talking to you like that seemed like you was just having a Sunday drive. That was fantastic. You was right on the limit as well with 27.2 there. Magnificent. How calm you sound as well. And absolutely nailing those braking points as well. So magnificent up there, and I'm hoping when it gets to the business end as well, we'll how much more have you got in the bag there?
Depends how much more fuel I want to take out the car, I guess.
Oh, I see.
Half a second.
I wouldn't say half a second, but there's definitely a few more tenths, especially if I'm not talking my way around. Obviously wasn't flat coming through a few corners where I would be, and I screwed up my ARS a little bit. I didn't fully deploy through the lap, so I kind of forgot to turn it up till halfway through the first sector.
I reckon you get in 26s easily, mid 26s maybe. Yeah?
I can do 26s, I've done them before.
Indeed, of course.
There's a good half a second in you.
I'm not
Wishbone.
sure if Wishbone wants me to do the side.
I think Wishbone's trying to cheer you up. This is fantastic stuff. Sam's gone 5th at the moment as well. Remember, Sam, very new to league racing, and I tell you what, his consistency's been phenomenal. He's had no DNFs, I don't think, in his career so far. That is mightily impressive, because especially when the chaos that happened around France and Austria, it's very difficult to stay out of the way, especially when someone misjudges the break point. We're on board with Game Gang, and of course he made his debut back in France, and he is back here again today in the Toro Rosso, covering for the Knowles at the moment, who is sunning himself, I think. So he's just coming down the back straight now, Game Gang is, and you can see taking a lot of curb on them some as well. There's an Alfa Romeo behind him as well. Of course, that is Nigel, that is. Very quick driver in his own run, but I must admit, I think he would be getting quicker and quicker on this game, but at the moment, Fisher touched on this earlier. Oh, Game Gang now getting very wobbly, and he's in the pits. Fisher touched on this earlier, that drivers seems to be now starting to really get a hang of this game, and one of them is Nigel, I think. Nigel hasn't shown his potential just yet. He comes across the line and does a 28.0 so far in the Alfa Romeo. Car 36, and that's a very that's his iconic number, isn't it? Now let's take a quick look at the comment section. Then we've got Nathan Hughes. Come on, Emerson, let's extend that lead, lad. Of course, at the moment the lead is 11 points. It's very, very close at the top, isn't it? We have also got Gooder saying let's hope it's not one of us in the commentary box that goes out. Oh yeah. George, that was really poor. My phone's too small to read some of these comments, I must admit. And we've got Laggy Racer. Might be only 5 minutes before the race starts. Of course, Laggy Racer is, as I said, he's partying hard at the moment. To be honest, I don't encourage drink driving, to be fair. But 1 minute, I think one man who's yeah, one man who definitely I don't think should be driving tonight is this man here, Dan Murphy. By the way, if he does cause a major incident, he is not hungover. He is just, you know, tired, innit? So yeah. By the way, if report him to the stewards if he does. Silent shifted his retire from the session, but he's all right. But he is not out. He's not in the hedge. He's all right. He's just watching Dan Murphy in the Ferrari at the moment. Then, as I said earlier, he's dropped down to 5th in the championship at the moment. He's having a bit of a he was very quick at the beginning of the season. I think he's dropped off a bit, similar to Jonathan Cox. Those two were really on it, weren't they? And then it's just it seems to have fallen away slightly. And Jonathan Cox has just confirmed it's going to be a dry race, so I'm not sure if you guys are happy with that or not with that. Well, what do you guys think about? Very happy. Oh, that answers my question really. Then, so not a fan of the wet then?
No, not at all. The wet on this game is it's completely different. It's basically like driving without traction control on steroids. The car just wants to spin everywhere. Braking zones are massively extended. I mean, it's realistic, but it's edge of your seat stuff.
And Granty has gone second now. And what about you, Wishbone? And what do you prefer? Do you like? Are you a man that likes a bit of the changeable conditions, or do you just prefer a straightforward dry race?
Sure, whatever it is, we give it a best, you know. Hopefully, a bit of rain would be nice. I like it all right. Not for the faint-hearted, no. You gotta stick with it when it's raining. Keep the foot down.
You like it? You're handy in the rain.
Oh yeah.
Like he didn't know that. So it's Fire Shot coming through the first sector now. Of course, Fire Shot is the newest full member of the ALR driver family here. So he has been promoted to the Haas. So Fire Shot is now with us full time. Of course, the French Grand Prix winner as well, because he's been with us for several races now, and he's really shone, especially in France. How he controlled the pace of the France was magnificent. Ayrton is just commented today. He is I'm here for the commentary, not for the racing. Thanks, Emerson. Of course, I have to read that comment out because it's about me. Anyway, back to Fire Shot at the moment. He's down the back straight at the moment, and he's on a fast lap. And of course, we've got Laggy Racer. He's not racing, so Laggy Racer will not be racing. There's a Ferrari off there. I think Dan's pulling over to see if we can get some water because he might be dehydrated. Fire Shot then is just coming. is coming through the final couple of corners now. And what is the Haas driver going to do at the moment? I must admit the Haas team have got a very strong lineup, but I think I'm really looking forward to the team's championship now. And he must have invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go again for a shot. So that's really putting some pressure on the Haas driver. So yeah, I gotta say Renault got a very strong lineup as well. Granty and Wishbone, I think, are going to be very strong, very difficult to beat as well. But I even throw the Haas team in there now with Emerson and Fireshot. Fantastic little team they've got there. So we're just on board the back straight now, and Fireshot is just going once again. Then we've got a yellow flag floating around in section 2 at the moment. I'm hoping it's just someone getting out of the way. And of course, hopefully we'll have Exile in. Sorry, not Exile, Elite in as well. Of course, who has unfortunately had a problem with the update of his game. I must admit, as I said earlier, that threw me as well. I didn't realise how big the update would be because it didn't seem like a major update really. As a far,
it took forever to update.
It did, didn't it? And
the copying part for me was, I think it took half an hour.
Yeah, to be honest, it was a bit tight for me as well because I think I had a league race on Monday or something. I don't know when it was. It was sometime last week, and I was like, sugar. So, yeah. And a fire shot is now just coming down the back straight because I think that's patch like 10 now, isn't it? That's an awful lot of patches, isn't it, for a game? I'm quite surprised by that. Well, should you be surprised? It's a F1 game, isn't it? So maybe not. So fire shot is now coming through the final couple of corners now. Let's see what he does. He's ran a deployment, but that should be alright. He's 9th at the moment, Fireshot is. So yeah, he's it doesn't seem to have shown his full potential yet, possibly. Stringy out on track at the moment. Of course, Stringy had a very good Game Gang goes up to 10th at the moment. Good stuff from Game Gang. Exile is just on the final part of his run now. Of course, he had a great podium, didn't he, last time out in Austria? Absolutely fantastic driving from Exile. And he goes into 7th fast. He's really putting himself in the mix now. Yeah, Stringy, of course, since debuting the ALR, he's had some very consistent pace, hasn't he? He's been in the top 10 there or thereabouts, hasn't he? He's very, very impressive so far in his opening 2 races he's got. Of course, he's drawing the racing point once again, standing in for Renzo. Stringy's gone a bit wide there, so that's why I don't compliment people, because that's what happens. But as he comes around the final couple of corners now, Grant Boy is retired, but that's all right. We've still got 20 seconds left in this session. This session's flown by. It's okay though, because Stringy is through and in 10th position at the moment. Of course, remember, Stringy and Fisher produced some absolutely magnificent teamwork. I think when was that? I can't remember when it was now. In the Alfa Romeos. Oh yeah, Baku as well. I think I must admit.
Baku in the runner with the slipstream.
Yeah, that
What's the last time to get in? What's the cut-off time? 14, 15 and 16. Have they set times yet?
Yes, they have. So at the moment, currently, Sam is.
30.3.
Oh, it's very close. I think Sam's through because Crazy Hitman is out of the session by a tenth of a second, and Sam has made it through to Q2. So big congrats to Sam there. Fantastic stuff. Crazy Hitman there is. I think he's struggling with the game a bit at the moment, isn't he, Crazy Hitman? But of course, the more practice you get in, the better you are. We're just watching that Wishbone at the moment. He was just asking about the cut-off point because
this is the bit here now. You just got to stay with her to these corners. Keep the foot down. Oh yeah.
Excellent stuff. And to be honest, he timed that to perfection as well.
No, it's not. No. It's all wide in the last one.
We've not a good exit.
So it's
driving us straight sideways.
Well, I must admit though, I think you timed that to absolute perfection though, the lab. Because when he went, oh yeah, your car just zoomed by on one of the curb cameras. Absolutely magnificent. It really was.
Oh, you like them? They're nice, aren't they?
No, I love them.
Good like them.
I know Wishbone goes at 6 fast at the moment. So unfortunately,
second climb from Wishbone now.
Yeah, I think
no,
he
it's
just
not
needs
to. I might take today. I'll see how much is left now. It might take out some of the fuel, you know. Know yourself.
There could still be some fuel to come out of the car.
Oh, there could be.
So as Wishbone now comes back to the pits, unfortunately we have lost Jonathan Cox, so he's going to have to come back through the field then, of course, as he's got a full qualifying ban. And of course Crazy Hitman is also as well. He missed out by a tenth of a second in the Red Bull, so he has also been knocked out as well. So as now we're getting into the nitty gritty stuff, as we've got the Williams driver of Silent Shifton join us. Of course, Silent Shifton last time we raced here, I think had a pretty decent race in the part of the I think it was the Invitational. I think it was, of course. It doesn't really compare to the winner, of course, who is actually on pole as well at the moment. Of course, Fisher won that Invitational, I believe, in fantastic style as well. It was all going on behind him, but at the front it looked quite serene. I want to talk to Fisher about that in a minute, actually, because yeah, I think it's a magnificent time to talk about it. Yeah, but the we'll come to you in a minute, Silent, as I would like your opinion on the track conditions. But yeah, Fisher, that incredible race, of course, in the Invitational, which I'm not sure if there's another one going to happen or not yet. There's been rumours about sometime in December, but
I've heard rumours, and I'm allowed to come defend my title, so.
Oh, excellent stuff! But
fingers crossed.
Well, hopefully we can get motion on. Knowles needs to pull his finger out, really, don't he? Anyway, but the actual race itself, Fisher, a fantastic drive by yourself. And how did it feel to beat it was like basically a race of champions, really, wasn't it? It was the best of the best of the best from like three other leagues. I bet it got a right old buzz from that, didn't you?
Yeah, I won't lie, I was a bit nervous. I didn't really know any of the other leagues. I kind of kept away from league racing for a few years and only sort of started doing it back end of last year again. So for me it was, it's been a learning curve. Kind of get my pace back to where I'd like it to be, and obviously competing near the front. Qualifying, I was unhappy with certain things that happened. Someone retired on track and it kind of screwed up my lap quite a bit. And I caught them in Maggots and Beckett's, and the car was just sat there in the middle of the road, so I had to back out my lap. And I was 4 tenths up my lap at that point, and obviously ended up starting third. But then there was the massive wait because the lobby crashed. And I didn't really know what I was going to do strategy-wise. I hadn't done any practice, so it was just kind of see what I could do kind of thing. But obviously I got a pretty decent start. Went round the outside of someone technically turn 3, but I'll say turn 2 because you can lap pretty much everywhere. And then obviously got the move done. Coming onto the straight, I can't remember who it was I was racing. I think it was someone from Midnight Racing, I think. Midnight Racing UK maybe, I think. Midweek, someone from there.
Oh, midweek racing. Sorry, yeah. I was just trying to concentrate on the comment that came in. I'm struggling to protest.
And then obviously they went completely deep going down the first straight, and it kind of just let me disappear a little bit in the distance. And I won't lie, I was trying to. It's pre-planning for me for league races, so I was just trying to see where I could use my ARS, where I wouldn't lose time turning it off, where I'd gain time using it, and playing the things out front. It was pretty plain sailing for the most part. It was easier than I expected, but it's never easy. I was still flat out, and I had a few wobbles, Maggots and Beckett's. Towards the end of the first stint, the soft tyre had completely died, and yeah, that was interesting. But past that, it was reasonably plain sailing, but obviously I know I was helped by the guys battling behind. I actually rewatched the stream of it today. So hopefully tonight there'll be a bit more of a challenge, I think. Especially with, Wishbone's always quick, Grunty, Silent Shifting, Dan Murphy as well, and obviously the championship with Emerson, Bar. There's a few of the really quick guys there that I'm sure will be able to keep me honest, hopefully. I'm not guaranteeing that I'll start at the front, but it's the aim.
Talking of keeping you honest, Grant has just thrown his hat in the comments. Who's that person talking in the comms? My rival. Because Granty has commented on the course. So there's a good old scrap in SNRS between Elliot and Granty for the championship. Really good stuff it is. It's going to be a fantastic watch. This course every Saturday night.
It's an interesting one.
It is indeed. I think it's all stringy. I think it's just about his time now. And Grant
he went out on some U-soft, I think. So I think he's just backed off from what's saying in my ear.
So Fisher's what strategy are you going for?
One that involves 2 types of tyres.
Oh, what an amazing comeback.
it could be soft, medium. I haven't actually decided, so I'm just kind of sat here at the minute. I'm going to see what other people do and decide in the last few minutes. And
yeah, I'm just waiting for you to go out.
Oh, excellent stuff, it really is. And of course,
I reckon it'd be maybe one stopper probably. Mediums. Yeah, mediums.
The rival.
My teammate. Yep.
It's becoming a party in here right now. Just before we get on to Grant, who's just also is coming as well, because I have a feeling there's going to be an awful lot of banter being thrown around now. Let's talk about silent shifting. At the moment, you've just got into a 27.6. A good lap time from yourself. What are you expecting from tonight's race? Of course, as we touched on earlier, you've been very strong this season, but unfortunately it's been consistency which has been costing you ground in the championship.
Yeah, I thought that Austria was a great track for me, but I picked the wrong setup at the start. I was using 7 and 5 wings, so the car didn't turn at all.
Oh, fuck.
So I had absolutely no pace, and then I pinned it and then I retired, so I didn't even bother driving the car. Yeah, it's been really hard. It's usually been the wrong setup because I'm dumb and I choose the wrong one. So, but I hope this race goes well because I think I'm decently placed and the setup is good.
To be honest, I don't think you're dumb at all, mate. To be fair, not being funny. At least you do have your own setups. I tried driving around with a default setup, and I'm like always 5 seconds at the back. So yeah, so I think it's very difficult thing to do a setup. And because we've got 4 or 5 experts in here tonight, fantastic stuff. I want to talk about setups in a minute. And of course, let's come to Granty. Well, you're at the championship hunt now. You're only 16 points away from Emerson.
Wow.
It's looking very.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I gotta say, you're in 2 championship fights as far as I'm aware now. Of course, one on Saturday night and now one on Sunday. How is that going to affect your mentality? Are you going to go for broke, or do you need to prioritise one or the other? How are you going to go about this?
It's a tough one to call, to be honest. There's still quite a few tracks that are still good for me, so it all depends how they go on. I will not be saying what tracks I'm good at. You'll just have to wait and see. For sure. The hard compound tyres will still be there. I'll just let you know.
Honestly, I think you would stick if you didn't use the hard tyre. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, it's just one of my stints, and it works quite well for me sometimes. But anyways, with the Sunday, I just felt like ALR wasn't really the one to sort of go for it. But now I'm there. I'm like, well, I mean, I might as well try and push for this one as well. So
Fighting for both championships as well, must I add? Not just the drivers, but the teams as well, because Reynolds is proper going for it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's true.
We're doing fair well at the moment.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's a typical driver who forgets the constructors. I must say, because Renault probably got one of the strongest teams now. And Exile goes full fast at the moment. Fantastic time from the Toro Rosso driver. He's on a high at the moment, isn't he? And Wishbone is on an out lap at the moment. Oh no, he's on a quick lap at the moment in the Renault.
Yeah.
So
What tyres are on Wishbone?
Mediums.
Ah, the medium.
Yeah. No bother. Are you gonna come out on the pit? You coming out?
Yeah.
On the mediums or the softs?
I don't know, I might just wait and leave it tight, put myself under some pressure.
Oh, right, yeah. Sure, you'll be grand anyhow. We're gonna know where you're starting on the mediums.
Under pressure, mate. So that's no.
You're starting on the mediums. You're starting on the mediums. I know for a fact.
Oh, Fisher, go hard, mate.
It's not a state secret. You can tell us if you want.
There are no hards kept in this garage for this weekend, I'm afraid. Throw them all out.
we still about tyres. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go across the line. Nigel's got a second at the moment on the medium compound tyre. And of course, there's a lot. You might be hearing. There's a lot of soft, medium, and hard being thrown around at the moment. Those are tyres are on about. They're not on about people's perception on other people and drivers. We're talking about tyres. So at the moment, then we've got Silent.
I was thinking about that.
Silent is on the soft compound tyre. Then we've got the so is Gunnar, Sam, and Stringy on the soft as well. Then we got medium tyres for Wishbone, Nigel, Emerson, Fireshot, Exile, Game Gang. So they're on the medium tyres. Just watching Dan Lutenton, who's just coming around the final corner now, and he throws himself over the fastest. Oh, good time there. Of course, he's on the soft compound tyre as well at the moment. We just heard Silent talking about setups and getting it wrong. How difficult is it to get a good setup that suits your driving style? That's another question to all you guys in here. We've only got 5 minutes though, so hopefully you got a minute each. Go for it.
Who's going?
Anyone
I
you
didn't hear
want.
the question, I'll be honest.
Well, let's go with Granty first.
Well, for me, I basically try and go for like the top 10 runners in the leaderboards, and sometimes I just have a little adjust on the wing. Other than that, I just sort of keep it to how it is, and to be fair, they work quite well in the race itself. So not only just the time trial, it works quite well, it's actually for the race itself. There's not really much else I could go with that, to be honest with you. Some of the wings are very similar, maybe a couple of tracks are very different, but other than that, then yeah. I mean, some of the tyres as well, the PSR and the tyres as well, depending on how much you want, how much PSR you want in them as well. I think Spencer geometry is quite simple, the same. All right, all left, all the rights, all the lefts. And yeah, it's not really much difference really, but you know, you just find your style when you race, I suppose. And, yeah.
And Silent Shift, then you brought up the car setup. So where is it going all wrong for you so far this season? Then is it too much tweaking? Is it, or are you just is it just not matching your driving style at the moment? Have you got time to embed yourself into this setup that you want? Okay. Anyway, next let's go to Wishbone. So Wishbone, what about you in setups then? Because each driver is different by the sounds of it. Then, so what makes a good setup for you? Do you like a flighty rear end or do you like a pointy car?
You know, I like to get a bit loose in the rear end and get the speed in the straights. If I'm honest, that's how I normally roll. Then high on the brakes.
And how does that do? Is that good for tyre wear though? Is that are you able to? How do you drive around that then? Or do you just kind of like manage it as race by race?
Well, if I'm in a battle now, I just be going flat out and the tyres will burn out after a few laps. But if I'm on my own in some clean air, then I will manage it a bit. But sure, whatever it is, I normally just stick with it anyhow. Like, you do lose like half a tenth a lap, but I'd rather do that and stay with the leading pack than not at all. Like, you just get high tyre wear and you just stick with it. It's the key.
That is a brilliant answer. That is.
And it's not all in the car as well. It's all in the head. If people see now they get 35% tyres pushing on 40, they pit. And then other people would go an extra 5 laps than them, and it's all, they have them in the head after that then, because they don't know what tyres they're going to put on, because they know that they can last so much longer on the softer set of tyres. What are they going to put on next? And it'll pressure the other person into a pit stop, but they don't really have to do one, because sure, it's all about the mind games, really. I could have been lying to you there about the whole time we set up, but I wasn't.
I really hope not, to be honest, because I'm going to be listening to this.
No, I wasn't. I would have been honest with you. You can watch me. I'm not too good in the corners when I'm quick in the straight. I will see it in the race as well. Hopefully be chucking a few moves up the inside at the end of the straight.
Oh, fantastic.
Hopefully I don't spin out behind people.
Even on one wings is what you just went there. Full straight line Ferrari mode.
Not that extreme.
So it'd be good in Monza then. I'm looking forward to that. And of course, Fisher has now finished this lap. Then, so what about your car setup? Of course, we know that you're quite secretive about what you like to do and what not to do. But what about what about your car setup and things like? Because it's quite sad that you all three of you got different driving styles, which kind of surprises me really. Because surely there should be one driving style, and that is just to go fast. Or is that, was it simpler than that? Sorry.
I guess mine's a little bit different to these guys, purely to the fact that, from what I know, they're both on a pad and I've got a wheel. So I have to drive in a different way, because if I can't just throw a car at a corner, because the wheel will try to kill me. And it's easier to spin, so that's sometimes why I struggle with certain aspects of the car. But no, setup-wise, I have sort of like a baseline setup for most tracks I'll run. And then I try just kind of the same as Wishbone. I try to bring the aero as low as I can, but still so I guess I know where best parts of my driving are, and it's usually in traction zones and high-speed corners. They're kind of mad where I'll make time on people from what I've learned past few months. So I try to build a setup around that, but then try to take off as much air as I can so I can still be pretty quick down a straight. So it's a balancing act. And then obviously I like quite an oversteery car, so halfway around a corner I don't really mind if the rear end decides to step out. It doesn't really fuss me that much. Yeah, it's just kind of like a fine balancing act. But I do a lot of tweaking throughout a race and changing a diff and brake balance and trying to get the most out of the car. And well, I say unfortunately, I guess it's lucky for me. I seem to have better tyre wear than quite a few people, so my driving style kind of complements that quite well.
Excellent. So thank you all for that, guys. That is absolutely phenomenal insight. I'm loving all that. Stringy now coming into the final couple of corners now. I don't think Exile's going to make it. So Stringy might knock Exile out of qualifying here. We're on Board Street. He comes across the line now. He goes into 10th, but there's Granty Boy just coming behind him now. What is Granty going to do? Is he going to knock Stringy out? He does. Granty knocks out Stringy, but look how close that 2/10 of a second away. So Granty very wow, brutal there, wasn't he? So out of qualifying there is Sam, who's been knocked out. Also Gunnar out, Game Gang out, Exile out, and Stringy out as well. It's quite unusual tactics there for some drivers. I wonder if they just didn't realise the time, because Sam, Gunnar, or Game Gang didn't go out there in the final run there, and Exile of course left it a bit late. He was still on his outlap there. So interesting tactics there. I'm wondering if they were clock watching, or maybe they might be happy to start outside the top 10 with fresh tyres. We'll hand it over to the...
Exile's just gone 10th.
He has he? Oh, he has?
Yeah, he just went 10th, yeah.
Well, I'm talking rubbish, everyone. Brilliant lap there from Exile. He is in the top 10, so fantastic stuff. Yeah, that's never trust the graphics on the side, everyone. So yeah, well done to Exile. He's just made it through. Fire Shot, of course, the winner in France, has been knocked out of qualifying. Also knocked out is Stringy as well. Game Gang is out, so is Gunnar, and so is Sam there. So great lap in the end from Exile. Of course, as I keep saying, Exile's on a brilliant run at the moment. Fantastic race in Austria, and of course getting his first ever podium. Fantastic stuff. Laggy just said, a bit of a shame we can't race. He loves this track here. And also we have got Gunnar there. I know I'm not making the top 10, might as well stay out of people's way. Oh, that's Gunnar.
Fisher's on the medium.
I had faith in you, Gunnar.
Medium, mate.
And anyway, we're going into Q3 now. Remember, Q3, this is where it gets really fast and furious. And so 12 minutes for one of the top 10. Who is going to get on pole position? I'd like to know what your comments are. Let's start with the expert panel in this sat next to me right now. Of course, we've got 4 drivers in here, so I'm hoping that they all have different opinions. I reckon they will. Let's start with Fisher. Who is your prediction for pole position?
Half, if he can hook a lap up.
Yeah, Far's been a bit quiet so far, hasn't he? He's been a bit under the radar so far in this session.
He'll fly under the radar and then suddenly he'll just put a lap in out of nowhere, and it's sort of he does it every few races, and it's kind of you ain't beating it. But if not, I'd say Wishbone looking pretty good when he takes the fuel out his car.
Oh, excellent. What about you, Wishbone? Who do you reckon's going to be pole position?
Honestly, I think Fisher's going to fucking set a good lap time, and we're not going to catch it. Well, yeah, but that's what it is. Hopefully now it's a Renault 1-2, but I see Fisher's just fucking running away with it, to be honest. Yeah, it's all about hooking a lap up, though. If I can hook a lap up, hopefully I'll be somewhere good. As already stated, Fart should be given a shout, because he could just randomly set a lap and that could be it. It could be over after the first run, but it's a fact thing, yeah. After whatever is going to happen, like, it's not going to affect the race.
And what about you, Granty? Who's your tip for pole position?
For me, I know what Fish is like on this track, so it would be pole for me. I think showing from Q2, I think Farf will be there, and my teammate.
Oh, brilliant stuff! I'm loving how all you guys are not going for one person. You're predicting the front three. Excellent. And also, Silent, are you? I'm hoping he's back. Yeah. If what would your prediction be?
I had problems. Sorry.
That's
I
right.
think the guy in McLaren, I don't remember his name, who's in front of me right now. He's gonna be pole, Fisher second, and well, I don't know third, maybe Wishbone because I'm shit slow.
Well, I suppose I don't think you're that slow, to be honest. But yeah,
Fisher's is gone now.
I know.
He's
I
gonna
think
go to the zone.
Yeah, I think Fisher needs. Yeah, I reckon he needs to get into the zone now. And of course, we've also got a couple of people in the comments as well. Predicts as well. We're on board with Dan Luterton now, who's I think I've just completely ruined his name there, so sorry about that, Dan. But he's in the McLaren at the moment, coming down the back, the Wellington straight at the moment. We've got Gunnar just saying that Dan is going to get pole position at the moment, and Laggy is saying the other Dan, the red Dan's going to get pole position. Of course, Dan Murphy. So that is great stuff. We've got we got everyone that's predicting pole position. We have also got, I think we've also got Game Gang, who has just joined us in the commentary box at the moment for the final run of this qualifying session, and I think we've also got Fireshot in as well. So we're just on board with Dan at Luton now. I'm really sorry, Dan. And he's coming now down the back straight, and I think he's called. Yeah, he's strung with Tyrone up there, which is interesting enough. Just on board Silent Shifting at the moment as well. Of course, he is oh, and I think that someone's had a bit of a poor exit there. I think it was one of the Renault drivers, unfortunately. Silent shift there, just coming through Stowe. Very honest of you. Just coming up into the final couple of corners now. And of course, Game Gang, welcome to the commentary box. How are you doing today? Are you disappointed with that qualifying performance?
No, I'm not very pleased with my qualifying performance today.
Oh, excellent stuff. So are you not very confident around here, or because normally you're near the sharp end, really, of grids?
No, I didn't practice a lot, so.
Oh, I see. So really, so it's more of a kind of like a salvage operation. As I think Murphy goes second, Wishbone in third position, Granty in fourth. Emerson has had a pretty poor opening lap at the moment, in fifth position at the moment. Oh, and a Farfetch just decided he doesn't like the polystyrene board, and it's just completely ruined it. Nigel, the Season 1 World Champion at the moment in the Alfa Romeo, you can never count him out. Of course, he's had a bit of issues on this game so far, but of course, he's still won the Monaco Grand Prix. It just underlines his talent now, doesn't it, really? On board with Nigel then coming through the absolutely incredible complex of Maggots, Beckett's, and then into Chapel. And of course, Ryan, who's your prediction for pole position?
Me.
Oh, excellent. Is that like 11th and downwards, or because I can't see you in the running order here?
Yes.
What went wrong in your qualifying session? Are you happy with that performance?
Yes.
Great. Oh yeah, I remember why we called you Kimmy now. Nigel has got up into 6th position at the moment, and he is at 200 of a second off the pace of Emerson at the moment. I feel that those guys might want to go, really want to go again. Really, we've got 6.5 minutes to go. Fisher's out on track at the moment. He has left us because he needs to get into the zone now. He doesn't need some ginger guy waffling down his ear. So here we go then, as he is now on the second sector now, coming up into oh my gosh, Cops, that's it. Oh dear, going very wide there, Fisher does, but he might be alright, might have got away with that, as and unfortunately Jonathan Cox has got a sound glitch. Or is that me that's got a sound glitch? I think I don't know, to be honest. I can't hear over my voice, to be fair. So Jonathan Cox unfortunately got a sound glitch, and Laggy is just confirmed that's not good, is it? It really isn't. Of course, we heard before by the guys that we was talking about. I think it was back in Austria, had the same problem where the sound glitch really does hurt your shifting patterns, doesn't it? Into the pits comes Fisher then. So I think he was just trying to test out the track at the moment. Back on board with Orange Dan at the moment in the McLaren. So he's coming down. No engine sound for Q3, which, to be honest, unfortunately, is kind of standard at the moment, isn't it? We seem to have this issue every Sunday, so we can't even blame. Oh, Stringy's left the session. Hopefully, he'll come back soon. He's got 5 minutes to get himself sorted. Yeah, we can't even blame Knowlesy this week because normally he's the host. So just on board then with Dan as he comes down and he starts a lap then. So he's slightly out of sequence to everyone else. Far, Fisher, Exile, and Dan all haven't set a time yet. At the moment, Silent Shifting's on pole position. Remember, Silent Shifting is very good with it's very good on the qualifying runs, isn't he? at the moment, I think someone's out of the bath, but at the moment he's got 2 pole positions to his name. The Williams driver, of course, he won incredibly well on his return to ALR. He won in China fantastically well. Of course, remember Grant, he won last time, his first ever race win in ALR, which I'm still shocked to believe that. That's incredible, isn't it? Because remember, since showing up in Australia, he's had the pace, hasn't he? So, but of course, winning incredibly well last time in Austria, fantastic race. It was, I think it's one of my favourites. But Austria seems to Austria seems to produce some of the better races, doesn't it? As well. Oh, Dan's off! He's off! Is he going to hit the barrier? No, he's all right. He recovers it. No, very nicely done. But that is a shame for the McLaren driver. He's only got 4 minutes to go. This is going to cause him all sorts of issues. He's the only man out on circuit currently, as John Cook said. Contact Codemasters needs to sort out on the next upgrade. Plus, anyone know when the F2 update is coming to PS4? And Naggy Racers thinks it's next month. I think the update for Formula 2, where they're bringing in the 2019 cars. I think I thought it was sometime soon, but they might have delayed it after the awful incidents that happened in Belgium, of course, last month. Is that Dan is back in the pits at the moment, so we have got a silent grid at the moment. And talking to Silent, he's on pole position at the moment. He's done a cracking time, hasn't he? At the moment, no one's in the 36s from what I can see. Unfortunately, I've got a real bad camera. No one's in the 36s at the moment. So Silent at the moment is on 27 flat. Then Dan is second. Not yet. So yeah, it's going to be Track Evolution then coming up. Dan is second at the moment. Third position, well, the second row at the moment is Wishbone. It's Wishbone and Granty at the moment. So showing the second row, both Renaults looking very strong. Emerson fifth, Nigel sixth. Seventh position is Farf. And that's it actually, because Farf, Fisher, Exile, and Dan are all haven't set time yet. And now as the Finnish driver is about to exit the pit lane now, and here we go then. This is what it's going to be. This is what all these guys have been practicing for. Who is going to get on pole position for the British Grand Prix? As all sorts is going on in here tonight. And now then, here we go then. This is going to be as Fisher on set of time yet, so there's a lot of pressure on Fisher's shoulder, but his Amanda doesn't seem to buckle under pressure much, does he? So
I've never heard someone do this shit.
What? Good lord. Anyway, as we're now coming into the final stages of qualifying, then Silent Shifting going for his third pole position of his career, and fantastic stuff from Silent Shifting. Really is showing some pace in qualifying. Can he get the job done in the race at the moment, which is letting him down currently. Of course, Dan Murphy, who has never had Dan Murphy's had 2 pole positions so far, so he's aiming for the third one of his career. Brilliant. Of course, we've also got Wishbone, who has a pole position to his name, as does Grant as well. And the only other man that does that has a pole position is
it's going to be Tilly.
Is Nosey, but he's not here. So yeah. We've got we've got the top 4 have already had pole position. Of course, Nigel's had several pole position in his career as well, but he's never had one this season yet. So this is going to be very, very interesting stuff. Remember, Emerson hasn't had a pole position either yet, has he? Which is quite surprising, really. Right, here we go then. Oh, they're coming through the final corner now. Silent Shifting is about to start a lap then. Here around Silverstone, the magnificent British Grand Prix, and here he flies into turn 1 there. Of course, DRS is not on that part of the track anymore. Of course, remember last year they had DRS open, didn't they, in turn 1 before Grosjean decided to fall off the track there. He'll fly into. Don't worry about that. Coming out down the Wednesday straight. This is the first DRS zone of the lap, and a lovely shot here of Silent Shift. And then he is flying down then. So the first sector, he's 700 a second up in the Rocket Williams then. Of course, he's flying the flag for Williams tonight. I think it's Woodlands there, and now accelerates away now nicely. Not taking much of the AstroTurf there, Silent. So keeping it all in the white lines. Fantastic stuff. Now coming up to one of the most incredible corners on the calendar, Cops Corner. Fantastic stuff. Now this next series of corners is really where you separate the men from the boys. Here he goes then into Maggots. Beckett's. Look at that then, taking a lovely line there as well. Oh, just drifting out wide there into Chapel, but no, that's enough, that's enough. DR's unable, and he's now down the back straight and coming up to Stowe. Remember, Stowe is where Michael Schumacher broke his leg in a horrific accident back in 1999, didn't it? Seems like an age ago now, doesn't it? Now accelerated away. Mr. Elite has joined, so he's unfortunately going to be starting 18th on the grid. So he's got a lot of time to make up Mr. Elite has, but remember he's a very complete driver, isn't he? So he should be alright. Sorry, Shifter's on a 26.9. That's pole position at the moment there for the Williams driver. Fantastic stuff. Murphy's on and off at the moment. So is Wishbone. Granty's out there. Fisher only goes 5th fastest, so Fisher has had a horrible lap there. Oh no! So Fisher is only 5th on the grid here tonight. Wow!
I think we jinxed him.
Oh, I think we did indeed. I don't think we're going to be very popular in his we're not on his Christmas card list, I don't think, at the moment. Now Emerson's left the session again, so Emerson is also not set a time either. Dan coming across the final time, and Dan goes fastest. Pole position of 26.8 there for the McLaren driver. This is only his second race. This is his first ever qualifying session in ALR. Fantastic, brilliant stuff. Murphy's on the lap at the moment. Wishbone's on the lap as well. What about Granty? Granty now coming through the final corner now. He's still got a bit of rest. And he's 5th position there. He's not happy with that. He's 8/10 of a second off the pace. Well, it's I think that was Farf who's gone 3rd position at the moment. Murphy's coming around the final corner. And what does Murphy do? Murphy goes 4th fastest, so he is only a 10th quicker. But what about Wishbone? Oh, is he gone?
Wishbone is a cook.
He's 5th. He is 5th in the end, so he didn't.
Slight comments in here.
Fucking
confidence.
I thought I was fast. What the fuck?
Oh, excuse the French over there. And Dan taking pole position in the McLaren on his first qualifying session. Fantastic stuff from Dan. Silent shifting alongside row 1. The only 2 in the 26 is there. Farf in 3rd position with Murphy in 4th. Wishbone 5th with Granty in 6th. 7th position is Fisher way down there. See you later, guys. It's now as all the drivers getting prepared. Emerson is 8th position. 9th position is Nigel, and Exile is in 10th position. Emerson has joined again then. Wow, what an end to qualifying there. Now let's just take a quick look. Yeah, laggy going. Come on, Dan, you can do it. And got sound back, Gerald for Coxhouse, and Nigel hates this track. And yeah, he's not. Unfortunately, he's only. Well, I say he's only 8th. I think he can still get some good performances from there. Then, but yeah. Pole position then for Dan. That's his first ever pole position in ALR. He's on his first ever qualifying session. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right then, as we're going to get ready then for the race itself. And I'll tell you what, that was a great end to qualifying there, wasn't it? Right, here we go then. So this is where it's going to get really feisty indeed, isn't it? So all the drivers are just picking their strategy at the moment. So I am now on my own in the commentary box. So we can now. This is where it really becomes very, very critical about who goes what, who does what, and strategy and things like that. Of course, I'm always going to have a quick plug-in: like, share, and subscribe. Or I don't. Well, to be honest, I'd rather you subscribe, to be honest. So yeah. So so you can know when the races are. That's fantastic. Well, I suppose I'd also like you to share as well. Anyway, you can see a lovely shot of the British of the grid there, and we've had a load of people disappear, and they've come back on then. So here we go then. This is the formation lap. So this is not the racing lap entirely. Sorry, this is not the race. This is just the warm-up lap, the formation lap to get themselves going. And on pole position is Dan Lieutenant, who's done a great job today, hasn't he? Really, first ever qualifying session in ALR, and he has put it on pole position. Fantastic stuff. Alongside him is a Silent Shift, and he is second. Of course, remember, Silent could have had a 3rd pole position in his career. Farf is 4th at the moment. He is the highest of the championship rivals at the moment, isn't he? So yeah, so well done to Farf. He is 14 points behind Emerson at the moment, so he just so he'd be up for that. Murphy, he needs a strong race today, doesn't he? He is in 5th position at the moment, 4th position at the moment. So there's front 2 on the soft tires as well, so they're going to advance off the grid. Wishbone is in 5th at the moment. 6th position is Granty, followed by Fisher in 7th. This is look at the caliber of drivers. That's fantastic, isn't it? 8th position is Emerson. So Emerson is ghosted at the moment. He needs to get back in the car, doesn't he? This is big. This is not good at all for Emerson at the moment, and the Haas. Of course, remember, he's leading the championship, and this is not good at all because Granty, of course, in that championship hunt as well, is also in front of Emerson. Of course, so his main championship riders are far in Farf and Granty are in front of him. Nigel, the season 1 champion, is 9th at the moment. He's on the medium tires as well, and Exile in 10th position. Outside the points is Ryan is a fire shot in the soft compound tire in his first drive for the Haas team. 12th position is Stringy on the medium tires, and everyone else, Game Guy on the soft, Gunnar on the soft, Sam on the soft as well on the Mercedes. Crazy Hitman is he in the pits? I think he's on the grid. Jonathan Cox is at 17th at the moment, and of course Laggy Racer has been replaced by Mr. Elite, who is in the Ferrari today. So he drove for Ferrari I think a couple of races ago, so he's back in the Scarlet Ferrari, isn't he, Mr. Elite is? Of course, remember, any points he does today, he will get for Ferrari, so that he won't get anything. And look, Emerson is still ghosting. He needs to get in this. Oh, this is awful for Emerson. He does want to lead the championship lead because of a technicality. This is a big blow, isn't it, for Emerson? Just taking a look as Mr. Elite is coming in the final corner now. Jonathan Cox qualifying on Mr. Elite. Unfortunately, a game issue where he had to update the game. And now we have got 18 cars around at Silverstone then. And just quickly taking a look at the change, we've got a yellow flag floating out there at the moment. And we're almost ready to go. I think, yep, we are now ready to go. Here we go, there's 5 red lights come on when we go in Silverstone. And here we go then, and it's a good start then for Dan at the moment. So his first pole position, he's not got any problems at all. Emerson's dropping down because he's not in the car, I don't think. And there's a redder that's gone flying wide. That's a very wide line there for Wishbone there, but he comes back on the track there at the moment. And look, far inside shifted there, going very well. Debris, there's a Ferrari off the track, and I think, oh no, that's a racing point. Who is that? That's Stree who's facing the wrong way, and oh no, and Ferrari almost going into the side of him as well. So in a Crazy Hitman is out of the session. He hasn't even started the race. Dan leads. Second position is Silent. Farf is in front position. Is there damage on Farf's car? There is damage on Farf's car. And what's going on behind? Emerson is back in his car. He is back in his car, but he's defending off that position because both Tauroses are attacking him. Fisher's dropped out a terrible start again. Fisher once again is dropped out of 12th position. We're side by side with Emerson. Emerson and Exile side by side, then going through the old Steingrid. Oh my gosh, there's going to be 3 abreast going into cops. No, it is. Oh my gosh, that's a big accident. And Emerson is in the wall. Emerson is out. Emerson is out. Exile's out. Oh no. That is a big blow for the championship leader. He is out at the British Grand Prix. Fisher's got a 10-second penalty. Exile and Emerson are out of the British Grand Prix. This is horrific start to the race for the championship leader. The Crazy Hitman is in the pits as well. So unfortunately for Crazy Hitman, he is not in his, and Farf is having to come in the pits, and we've got an awful lot of lag going on out there as well. As this is appalling stuff. Oh dear, and Lieutenant is now fastest up the race. He is flying at the McLaren, isn't he? We got Farf in the pits. Remember, he is and he's got a 5-second penalty. Ryan has as well. Silent Shift in second, Ed Murphy third, Wishbone fourth for the moment, and Emerson is left for session. He, of course, Exxon and Emerson both out of the race already. Nigel in 5th position there at the moment is just on board there, and Grant using 6th at the moment. He is the highest championship rower. As it stands, he will not be taking the lead of the championship, but he'll be making a big old dent in that. Emerson is not going to score any points in his first. This is the first time since he entered a race in it he will not have scored any points. So what a blow for Emerson. Absolutely appalling luck there. He's sideways. It was 3 abreast going into Cox, so it was 3 into 1 doesn't go, does it? Jonathan Cox on a magnificent start. He's up 10 positions. Fantastic stuff from Jonathan. Of course, qualifying band, didn't he? But he is now flying now in 7th position mode. Also, Mr. Elite is up 9 positions as well. He's up 10 because Gunnar is through. And oh, look at that, he's gone off, but he's now up into 10th position in front of Gunnar. Stringy out on the poor side as well. Farf is out of the pits now. Ryan shot as well. So is Fisher. Once again, Fisher having to come through the field because having to come through the field. Look at the gap there. 2.4 seconds in front of Dan Murphy at the moment. So very good start indeed for these guys at the moment. Silent Shift is not letting him get away though, because remember, Silent Shift is very quick, isn't he? But can he keep the momentum up? Wishbone is now all over the back, and so is Nigel all over the back. Look at this, then this is good. As Luton is just pulling away at the moment, isn't he? At the front. As we've also got Stringy is now on the inside of this. Oh, Gunnar's in the pits, and so Gunnar is in the pits. So we've got a good old battle here, haven't we, for third, fourth, and fifth at the moment. Oh, and there's also Granty and Jonathan in there as well. So we've got a good battle here, raging. Jonathan Cox on the soft combat tire as well. Game Gan is now into 11th position at the moment. So Farf is, unfortunately, his good position is all come undone, hasn't it, so far in this British Grand Prix. But potentially, well, it's very early on in this race, isn't it? Oh, Dan goes very well. Wishbone, of course, then he had pole position, Nostra, didn't he? It all went pear-shaped after turn 1, but as you can see, Gunnar's in the pits. He's on the hard compound tyre, and how long is he going to get into? Is it going to get him to the end of the race? So, guys that have pitted then is Farf is pitted, Ryan Shot is pitted as well. Fireshot is pitted as well. Gunnar's pitted, so is Fisher. Once again, Fisher 3 races out of 3. He has been involved in the first corner incidents, hasn't he? So yeah, and of course Stringy also getting involved as well at the moment, but he is gaining on Mr. Elite at the moment. Mr. Elite is up at the 9th position. Fantastic drive from Mr. Elite. Remember, a Ferrari drive at the moment. Sam doing a good job as well. He and the Mercedes, he's avoided the incidents again. Sam has. Remember, he has never retired from a race, an ALR race, since he's entered, has he, Sam? So very consistent mode. And Dan is going to have to get very, very defensive now, isn't he? 3/10 of a second separates the front two. Look at them, they're all over the back of each other. Now we've also got the battle here for between the Ferrari. It's the front battle for the moment. They're 3.6 seconds back. Remember, the front two are going to have to come in the pits. And what is the strategy going to be like then? It's going to be very, very interesting as well. The Exiles also left the session as well. We've lost 3 retirements. Crazy Hitman didn't get out of the garage by the look, so he is out of the race, unfortunately. Exile and Emerson also out as well. And look at this, Lionel's third at the moment, and they Wishbone is all over the back of Murphy. And look at Nigel on the background as well. Look at the caliber of drivers involved in this scrap here. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. And Nathan Hughes there has got crying faces because unfortunately Emerson is out of the race, and Silent Shifting coming from a long way back, but he's Dan doing a good job there. And Wishbone is through, and up in 2 is up in the 3rd position, so he is through and up in the 3rd position. Now, has he got the pace to get after the front 2? That's going to be the question, and is he going to stretch his legs up with Dan? That's going to be a very interesting look at this. So once again, the front 2 like last third moment. So so we're going through that into cops at the moment. Just taking a look up and down the field, and Stringy is now all over the back of Mr. Elite as well. So Farf is 14 seconds back from Game Gang. Fireshot is 13 seconds away from Farf. They guys all got 3-second penalties as well. Look at the understeer that Wishbone was having there. That was he was really strong, wasn't he? Down the back straight. Dan is Silent takes the lead at the British Grand Prix, but Dan is coming back. I love that. This is the great battle for the lead. Look at this, they're side by side. This isn't gonna, oh my gosh, this could end in tears here. That's a great move on the outside, and he is back through. Dan Lutenton is back through, and there they come. They're coming through now. Wow, and they're through and back, and Dan Lutenton is back in the lead. Silent shifting now, look, but to close the door then. Of course, he's got every right to do so, hasn't he? And now, as you can see then, Wishbone hasn't got all the way from Dan Murphy yet. And it looks like this is going to be a fantastic race, long battle, isn't it? Really is. Remember, they're all on the... Oh no! Granty's got into the side of I think it was a Nigel. He hasn't damaged the car, but that is a big blow, isn't it? The championship contenders are all falling by the wayside at the moment. Oh my gosh, and that's a Ferrari. They're trying to go by Granty there and having a lot of runs there. Stams there is just got off the track as well, I think, and it's Stringy there also behind as well. And oh my gosh, wow, what a start to the British Grand Prix this is. I didn't think of anything less, really, did you? It's now Wishbone is now starting to pull away from this battle here. Well, I say pull away. He's only 5 turns in front. Now Nigel then, can he get in front of Dan Murphy as well? Yeah, Grant, we just in the end of Grant. I think was it an optimistic move from Granty on Nigel? I'm not sure. Lovely shots here. The battling trio here. Gunner's dropped down to 15th position at the moment, but he's on the hard tyre. He could be going to the end now. Farf's on the soft tyre, so Farf has been quite quick. And again, these guys are going for it, and also Murphy and Wishbone are also. Look at this, and now is Sideshow just going on the inside? Is he? Oh, he's going to get some shot. No, not quite. Still Dan leads the race. Fantastic stuff. And now, as you can see, we join this battle here. This is brilliant racing, brilliant. Lap 6. We've still got 20 laps to go here in Silverstone. And we see, look at them all taking a wide berth into turn 1 then. So that is to minimise the slip angle. As flying through, we got a frag in 3. Who is it? 2. Who is it? Oh, it's Gunnar. Gunnar's on the old pit exit there. I think he had a problem there, Gunnar. So unfortunately for Gunnar, but he just got to keep on. Remember, Gunnar Oh, look at that behind. And here is Murphy. Is he going to have a look? Look, he was thinking about it, but I don't think, yeah, I thought I remember, it's a long old race, isn't it, here? So Grant, he is now starting. He needs to, can he catch on this battle? He has dropped down. Currently, as it stands, Emerson is still leading the championship. He is still leading the championship. Even if he is out of the race at the moment, he is still leading. And it's incredible, isn't it? His rivals are fallen by the wayside. Farf, who is in prime position, is out of the race. And of course, Granty has dropped off this battle as well in 7th position. So yeah, it's all gone slightly awry, hasn't it, so far? So but yeah, it just shows anything can happen in ALR, and it usually does. This is magnificent. So magnificent start to the British Grand Prix. Now then, we talk about strategy. Of course, we got a couple of drivers on the soft tires, we got a couple of drivers on the medium, and we also got a couple of drivers on the hard as well. So yeah, all sorts of strategy out there at the moment. And that is on board Jonathan Coxon. He's getting really feisty, isn't he? We're on board the man. He started 17th on the grid. He is now up into 6th position. Stringy is through, and by Sam. Is Sam going to have a look? No, Sam there is dropped down 10th at the moment. But as we've seen so far, Sam has had a very very good start to his career, hasn't he? Really, very consistent, isn't he, so far on board Jonathan Coxon, who is I think consistency he has struggled with consistency lately. Look at him, he's pushing Nigel out of the corners, out of the loop there, and look at this thing coming down. Oh my gosh, he is going to sneak through. Where's he going to sneak through? Let's take a look. He is through. Look at that McLaren in the background. That's Gunnar, that is. And now he is up into 5th position. So yeah, Jonathan Cox up in the 5th position then. He has the softer tyre. Now can he cause some grief then for Dan and Wishbone at the moment? Lieutenant is still out in front of him, but it's 6 tenths of a second still. So Silent Shifting is not letting him go at the moment. Silent Shifting on a very good race today. Yellow flag in 2. What's going on in 2? Oh no! It's Silent Shifting. He's gone off. He has gone off. He's coming out of the pit lane now. I think he's done similar to Gunnar. And that is a big blow there, and he's just let Gunnar through as well. So Silent Shifting, oh, that is a big blow for Silent Shifting. And now Nigel is now all over the back of Jonathan as well. So it's 3 tenths of a second at the moment. That might have given Lieutenant the kind of like just the gap he needed there, Jonathan there. Just giving him just about a car's width for Nigel, the car's width for the moment. So there's a free, flagging free as well. What's going on? Just taking a look, seeing what's floating around out there. Oh. Gunnar now is struggling with something, isn't he? I think it is Gunnar at the moment, isn't it? So, wow, lap 8 then. Let's just take a quick look to see what's going on. Silent Shifting then. Wow, I'm not sure what happened to Silent Shifting, but he was second, wasn't he? And really fighting hard with Lieutenant. Of course, Lieutenant only in his 2nd race, isn't he? But he's got pole position. And another yellow flagging free at the moment. Just taking a look. Gunnar is out of the race there, and he's been disqualified, so that's Gunnar out of the race, unfortunately. And so we got 4 retirements, and Granty is in front of Silent Shifting then, and he is up into... Oh my gosh, excuse me. Gesundheit. Yeah, no, there's my man flu coming to fruition now. Gunnar is retired from the session. He is out of the race. That is a big blow for Gunnar, isn't it? It's and the McLaren, so yeah, he has struggled at this track before. Crazy Hitman didn't take the start. So XR is retired, as Emerson retired as well. That huge crash in the cops there. It was an awful incident, wasn't it? And Gunnar out as well. At the moment, Fire Shot is now right behind Fisher in the battle for 13th and 14th. Farf and Game Gang are 11th and 12th, and that is a huge. Look at the talent. It's not in the points at the moment. Look at the talent that is in the points. Incredible stuff. 5 seconds of gap is between Lieutenant at the moment. He is out in front, making his only a 2nd race appearance. And of course, remember he did one in Austria where he had a default setup, didn't he? So fantastic stuff, it really is. And you can see lovely shot again in the final corner at the moment. Wishbone, Murphy, Cox and Nigel all Lionel Stern at the moment, as we come through then to complete lap 8. We're on lap 9 then. Lovely shot of Murphy at the moment. He's joined superbly well, isn't it, considering the fact he was really struggling earlier on today, wasn't he? You wanted to see him in the old chat. So as Silent Shifting there, I do feel for Silent Shifting at the moment, isn't he? He'd be absolutely devastated at the moment. Now we're watching Fireshot, of course, making his debut in the Haas at the moment. It's not really a dream debut for Fireshot, because remember, he won in France, didn't he? Fantastically well. When driving from the McLaren team, so McLaren now really need these points today, don't they? And they're doing a good job. We're on board Fireshot at the moment, and Gunnar has left possession, so Gunnar is out of the race. That is a big blow, isn't it, for Gunnar? And now they're coming through then to complete Yeah, well, these guys are quite a way back. Fisher 17 seconds away from Favre at the moment. Sam is keeping up with String at the moment. Good stuff. So as as these guys hunted, these guys actually, of course, they're going to be on the they're going to be on the soft tire for the rest of the race. This is going to be very interesting. Nigel's dropped back now. Murphy is now all over the back of Wishbone. Look at this. Wishbone does not let him go on the inside, so Murphy's going to go on the outside. He doesn't quite. Is he going to go for the switchback? No, not quite. Remember that there is a lovely shot here at the force of the racing point, I should say. And he's having a look. Oh, very not quite at the moment. Jonathan Cox from 17th on the grid is up into a magnificent 4th position. Brilliant driving from Jonathan. Car 25. And of course he's sported the new helmet as well today, isn't he? Of course he debuted that helmet earlier on the weekend, and I tell you what, it's brilliant. It's a good fortune, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic stuff. Look at that, almost going into the back there. Fireshot has got a 3-second penalty. The penalties have not. I haven't seen many penalties flash up at the bottom yet, have we? So yeah. So I think. So at the moment, then they've been very good. They've been relatively good out there. Really have. There's car 14 there, having a look at the Irishman Wishbone. This is the battle for second and third moment. Lieutenant is still pulling away at the front of the field at the moment in the McLaren. And well, he's looking at home, isn't he? Great pole position last time. I feel that Sergeant Shifton will still be on his tail as well. I think he made a mistake at this corner here, coming out of Cops. Looks like he must have spun it, but luckily he didn't damage his car. But yeah, that's a big blow. Nigel's dropping off the back of these guys now, isn't he? In 5th position, and Dan Murphy's got a 3-second penalty. And you can see that Jonathan Cox there is now starting to really get very interested in that Ferrari. Of course, Ferrari is currently holding the final spot on the podium at the moment, 4.9 seconds. So Lieutenant is definitely doing a good job already of holding these guys back. The soft tires, he's in the pits. So the race leader is in the pits, and for the McLaren team, let's see what tires are going to go on. He's got 16 laps. He's going to have to go. Surely with the medium tire, won't it? Well, yeah, it is the medium tire. So these guys are probably going to try and get to a decent time. As no one else in the pits mode. Jonathan Cox is carrying on because he has got the speed, hasn't he? So where is Granted boy that cut out 5th? Silent Shifton's in the pits as well, as is Mr. Elite. So and you can see that I think what might have been for Silent Shifton tonight, he's going to be very disappointed at that. So Lieutenant coming out of the pits now. Stringy is flying by here on the inside, and is up into 6th position. Then Sam is up into 7th, and the Mercedes. He's had a good old race so far, hasn't he? He had a good race in Austria as well, didn't he? He was flying up. And now Dan is coming out of the pits then, and where is he? Farf is just coming around the corner now. Remember, Farf is going to have to pit again. I think he ain't going to be able to get to the end of the soft tires. Silent Shifton on the pits, so is Mr. Elite as well. Game Gang is in the pits and going on the medium tires. And Fisher is on the hard tire then, and so is Wright, and so is that Fireshot as well. So let's see where they're gonna get themselves in and out. Oh, look at Wishbone flying out of Cops' corner. Now we rejoin this battle here because Jonathan Cox is now once again all over the back of him, isn't he? As they come flying through these incredible cars. Look at the wash. Look at the wash on the car. That is understeer. That is from Jonathan. Is he gonna come in the pits now? He's got the DRS over. I tell you what, his attacking strategy has been fantastic so far, Jonathan. He is definitely my driver of the day so far. Absolutely stunning work from Jonathan Cox, the British Italian driver, doing a great job at the moment in the Racing Point. And he's in the pits end for Racing Point end, so he is coming in the pits. He's done a great job to keep up with those guys, hasn't he? Because I think those tires are probably past their best as well. Wishbone takes the lead of the British Grand Prix, and we're on lap 12. We're coming up to half distance now, and to be honest, it's anyone's race, isn't it? Where is Jonathan there? You can see this is a long old pit, and this is Grant. He is now trying to come back through the field as well, isn't he? He is a 4th at the moment. Currently, as it stands, that'll be 12 points, but it's not enough to take the lead in the championship, is it? Remember, Emerson is out of this race. He is one of the first retirees, wasn't he? And there's Dan now coming across the line. Of course, Dan is on the medium compound tire, so it's more durable, but it will be a slower tire compared to the guys around him, which I think will be going on to the soft tires like Farf at the moment. There's Jonathan Cox coming out of the pits now. There's going to be a lot of hard luck stories here today of what might have been. Jonathan Cox is out in 8th position, so brilliant stuff. Silent Shifton is not. Sam is in and out the pits as well. Mr. Elite has returned back to the point, so well done to Mr. Elite as well. Of course, he started right from the back. So where's Sam going to come out then? So Sam is behind Fisher at the moment as Ryan shot, and Fisher is now 11th and 12th position. Sam coming out of the pits end in the Mercedes. He is in 13th position, and a Game Gang is coming through in 14th position, and Crazy Hitman is still in the pits. So I think he's just chinning away at the moment. At the moment, the closest battle on track has to be a Fisher and Fireshot here. And remember, these two are very quick drivers, aren't they? Once again, Fisher, 3 races in a row, has been involved in that first lap instance there, hasn't he? Yeah, so I wonder, he's really getting, I feel, is he, I doubt, is he placing the car in the wrong place, or is it just, bad luck? I feel that, yellow flagging too, because Farf is off the track! Farf is off! He's trying to recover now, here he is, he's coming back on the track, and remember what, he's down, dropped down position. I think that those tires are passing down, we're halfway through then, so what tires are going to go on then? Just come back to Fisher, yeah. Of course, I feel that I think it's just real. It's a bad luck, really. Is well, hopefully we'll get Fisher's driver perspective later on, and we can go for that Luton. Luton is just set a fastest up race of 30.9. So these times are now going to get quicker and quicker. As Farf is now in the pits. I remember Farf is second in the third in the championship at the moment, isn't he? Silent Shifting has just set a fast lap because Silent Shifting has the pace, doesn't he? But unfortunately, he made a mistake, didn't he? Which has really cost him. So Farf's in the pits. Fisher up into the points then, and there's Farf, who is still, you can see such a long pit lane. It really hurts you if you damage your car, doesn't it? It's I think it's the longest pit lane on the calendar. So it's really just it's quite brutal, isn't it? If you make a mistake right for that. Nigel's now started to up the ante again on the battle for. On the battle for second position at the moment. Of course, Wishbone is now starting to pull away. He's 2.4 seconds in front of Dan Murphy, who's second. Third position is Nigel. Granty is still homing in on these guys. He has pace in that Renault, doesn't he? Unfortunately, him and Nigel did have a bit of contact earlier on, which knocked Granty back. But it's now down to 3.8 seconds at the moment. And we've also got Luton, who is really gaining hand over fist on string as well. Who's in fifth position. String hasn't come in the pitch yet. We got 14 cars left out of the 18 that start. Well, it's 18 that started, but Crazy Hitman didn't restart, did he? So a big blow for Crazy Hitman. A 3-second penalty for Nigel. Back on board the Alfa Romeo driver at the moment. He is. That was very. I thought he was going to go straight to the back of him then. And now we're back on board then. We were on board with Luton, and then look at this. He's all over the back of Luton in there, and Exos has confirmed that there is a bit of a mess because there's lag everywhere, which might have resulted into the issues with what happened, where it was 3-1 into Cops, wasn't it, really? Which I'm not really sure if it's very brave. We're talking to brave. Oh my God, he's gonna go through, and he's up into 5th position. Is he? No, yeah, because Luton is not giving up, is he? And you can see that they're coming down the window, and now Luton is through. And he's up into 5th position then. So of course the pole sitter then is on the medium tyres, and the question is how long until the front guy is going to come in the pits, of course. So everyone else is going to be on the medium to soft tyre now this time. Yeah, so not until impressed. Of course, he had lag. Of course, this is where he exit the race. The Cops corner there with him and the championship leader Emerson. And Murphy is look at it, Nigel's through and up into 3rd position, and so Nigel has taken over 3rd position. Game Gang is now in front of Sam as well in the battle for 12th and 13th. Wishbone is coming to the pits. That's quite early, isn't it, for Wishbone? Is the soft tyres going to last 9 laps? So Nigel leads the British Grand Prix. 2nd position is Murphy, very close there. They're flagging each other. Of course, Nigel's had a win this season in Nigel's whole career so far. He has got 6 wins, hasn't he? He is the all-time record holder for amount of race wins in ALR with 6. So of course, second man I think on that list is Jochen with 5. So, but yeah, of course, and now Nigel is now going to have to come under the fence now, isn't he? I think Stringy's doing a good job of holding on to the back of Luton there. Whereas Wishbone, he is now out in 7th position. So Jonathan Cox has jumped him, but so the undercar has worked. But remember that this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Because Jonathan Cox is. Oh, look at this! The Game Gang is all over the back of Salmon. This is the battle for 12th and 13th position. The Mercedes driver coming through then, and then let's just on board Game Gang at the moment then. So he's all over the back of the Mercedes drivers. They come into turn 1 then. And you see then Sam doing a good job there, holding his line then nicely. But Game Gang are on board now. Is he going to have a look? He's not quite. But he's all over the back of him like a rash at the moment. Farf is 8 seconds back at the moment. He is 14th. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for Farf now, isn't it? I'm not sure if he's going to get any points at the moment to where he stands at the moment. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very hard indeed, isn't it? 13 lap tires for the hard runners of Fisher, and I thought he was going into the side of him there. It's going to be very hard then of Fisher and Ron shot. Well, they could get to the end. 5-second penalty was granted for speeding in the pit lane. Oh no! And that is a huge problem for Grant, isn't it? Nigel has stayed out though. Is that going to be a mistake? Ferrari mechanics get to work on the soft compound tyre for the Ferrari, and he's in and out. Did he get held a bit there by Granty? Of course, the Renault and the Ferrari garages are basically next to each other. Granty's out of the pits now. Dan already has taken the lead, so he's already through and back into the lead with 10 laps to go. Second position is Stringy at the moment. He's hanging out there at the moment. Jonathan Cox is in third then. I think he's had a fantastic race, hasn't he, Jonathan Cox? Really, really has indeed. So Wishbone is now, Jonathan Cox is fourth. Wishbone fifth. Silence is in sixth. Murphy has dropped down to seventh position then. Silence is actually, so the undercut has worked nicely out there for Silence, hasn't it? But the question is, he's going to be on older tires now, isn't he? Look at this, and it's Wishbone is now homing in on Jonathan Cox, and this is the battle for fourth and fifth position at the moment in this incredible British Grand Prix at the moment. So Nigel has got a 50-second lead. Nigel is staying out there. I'm quite surprised that Nigel's staying out there. And so he will have a lap younger tyres on those soft tyres. Is that going to pay dividends later on? And Fireshot and Fisher are basically still strung together, aren't they, at the moment? They've been together all throughout the race, aren't they? And that's the battle for the final points at the moment. Who is in front of them that might need to pit? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if anyone in front of them. Oh, Wishbone's got a free penalty as well. And yeah, I'm not sure if anyone in front of Fisher or Fireshot is going to be pitting again, so they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to really overtake on track then. So then, so we're back. So we're now just riding on board with the Irishman Fisher. 5-second penalty for Striggy, and you can see this, and that is a get. So that's like Granty. So he's also got and Nigel is in and out the pits then. So where is Nigel going to come out of the pits? And he's in the out. Of course, the Alfa Romeo has done his stop. Jonathan Cox will fly through now and up into. Up in the third position. Wishbone is up in the fourth. Sorry, third. Nigel is up into fourth position. Well, he's not on fifth because he's coming out of the pits now. Where is he? Where's Dan? Dan has gone through. Dan has gone through. Where's Granty? Granty's there as well. Oh no, he isn't. Where is he? No, Granty is behind Nigel. So Nigel is out in sixth position. So those laps there, they're pretty mega laps there from Nigel. Granty there is in seventh position at the moment. So yeah, it's been a game gang is now. So Stringy, where's he going to come out? Stringy at the moment is still in the points at the moment. Fisher is now in the moment. Game gang is now into the points. He's down to 10th position. Stringy 11th. Sam is in 12th. Far 13th, and Fisher is coming to the pits and going. It's going to be electric on those soft tires, isn't he? In 14th position, but unfortunately, I think they might be too far back. Stringy is all over the back of Game Gang in the battle for the final point of the race. Murphy is now all over the back of Solon Shifton, and also Wishbone is all over the back of Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox had a fantastic race today. Let's take a look at the gap then. As Dan Luton is 7.4 seconds in front of these guys at the moment, and look in the background, you would have seen a very, very close Ferrari, which is all over the back of Solon Shifton. Remember, he was on the he's going on the grass there. As Stringy and Game Gang are battling out for 10th and 11th position at the moment, and I think Stringy's now back in the points, and he's scored in every race he's entered in so far. And Murphy having a look, but yeah, I don't think that would have worked through there. Back as Wishbone there is still all over the back, and Jonathan Cox then is Jonathan Cox at the moment is the cork in the bottle. He's got a 3-second penalty. Look at this, and he's going to go on the inside. He's done it. That's a magnificent move, but Jonathan Cox is not going to lay down for that. No, he's not. And Jonathan Cox is back through and up into second position. That's a great bullet driving from both these guys there. And look at the background. We've seen a flash of red and white. That was a Ferrari, and that was an Alfa Romeo. I've also seen a bit of yellow as well, because that's Granty. And oh no! And Jonathan and Wishbone have come together. Wishbone has gone flying off the track. That is down his front wing. And Wishbone, oh no! This is not good at all for the Irishman. Big blow indeed. As yeah, so Jonathan Cox there is carrying on as they had a look then down the back, down the Wellington straight there. and Wishbone is gonna be he's gonna be so disappointed. Isn't he? Look at this, so Silent Shift is back on the podium, fantastic. But he's gonna have to work for this, isn't he? Because Dan Murphy back on board with him in the Ferrari as well. Look at that, he will have DRS, so will Nigel, so will Granty as well. Granty there, who's we've had a lot of very difficult races out there. Look at Silent Shift there, he's almost on the grass at the moment, and look, Murphy's going on the outside, he is swooped through. Oh no, Silent Shift is gone, he is gone, and he is has spun it, the Williams driver has, and yeah, he's it's all gone to, it's very difficult indeed, as Wishbone is coming into the pits then, and as I said earlier, this race is very difficult, isn't it, when oh, Farf is off the track, that's a big old smash, and he is out of the British Grand Prix. So Farf, this was a good opportunity for Farf to eat into that championship lead there, but he is out of the British Grand Prix. We haven't got long left to go in this race, so yeah, it's a big blow, isn't it, for who drives out there. Murphy is now in third position, but he's still got Nigel and Granty that are still hunting them down there. Where is Wishbone? Wishbone is still in the pits, he's on the medium tires, but he's outside the points now. Wishbone is, Game Gang is back in the points in 10th position. And look, Sam is just outside the points. He is in 11th position so far. Look at the Fisher and Wishbone have had very difficult race out there. Farf has had a difficult race. All the championship contenders have had a very hard race out there today, haven't they? Nigel's gone wide then, and but he is back on the track now. As we're now just coming into the final stage of this British Grand Prix. Silent Shift has got a penalty as well. Silent Shift and what might have been really is going to be on his mind today, isn't it? Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely crazy out there, hasn't it? It really has. Oh my gosh, really I'm lost for words. And Granty is now trying to have a look there. This is the close battle on track. This is the final battle for the podium, because Nigel is now up into third position, and he is by Murphy. Murphy is fourth. Fifth position is Granty. And Nigel is who didn't like this track, has done a good job today, hasn't he? So this is the close battle on track. Fire Shot is not far away from Mr. Elite in the battle for 7th and 8th. Jonathan Cox has had an absolutely blinder race, hasn't he? Maybe it might have to be looked into about the battle between Wishbone and himself for the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Wishbone put Wishbone out of the points. Fisher is also out of the points, but he's gained on Sam quite quickly, and then threatening him. Sam is 4 seconds back. Fisher's back in the pits, and I'm wondering if Fisher might be calling a day in the Mercedes unless he's got damage somewhere. No, he has retired then. So Fisher out of the race. Wishbone's back in the 12th position. Granty Boy is all over the back of Murphy, and he is going through the side by side, going into Cops then. And then and Granty is through and up into 4th position. He's on 12 points now. Where does that put him in the championship standings? Well, that will actually put him I think that would put him 2nd in the championship mode, but he is still 4 points. He is still 4 points behind Emerson at the moment. But if he can get in front of Nigel, yellow flag in 1, what's going on in 1? Just take a quick look, nothing, I don't think so. I think it might be the Strickland Fisher car is out of the race as well. Wishbone is in 12th position moment. So they're coming down to the final couple of corners now. I think Lieutenant is doing a fantastic job out there. He hasn't really well, we got a great volley. Fire Shot is on the outside of Elite, and he is now up into 7th position. So good. Oh, Mr. Elite almost going into the back of him there. Good driving for Fire Shots. He's done 18 laps on those hard tires, and he is still going for it, isn't he? Well done to the harsh driver, doing a great job out there. He's the sole remaining harsh driver out there at the moment, isn't he? Of course, with championship leader out. I can't believe what I'm saying. That's Emerson's first ever retirement in ALR. Also first. Oh, and what's happened? Fire Shot is gone off. He has damaged his front wing, and that is a big blow for Fire Shot. He got himself back in the points, and it's all gone wrong for Fire Shot in the Haas. And at the moment then, and he's left the session, so Fire Shot is out. And currently then, if Stringy will be up to 8th. 9th will be Game Gang. Sam is almost in the points out for the Mercedes crew. Fantastic. And so Dan Lieutenant is still leading. But look who's in front. Jonathan Cox is being reeled in. It's yellow flag in 2. I think that is. I'm hoping that might just be the Haas driver coming off there. But now Nigel's going to have to defend, isn't he? Because Granty boy, he wants to take the lead in the championship, doesn't he? He's going on the outside of Nigel. He's on the outside of Nigel, with Nigel is not letting him up, is he? And Nigel, he's hanging around. Stringy's in front of Farshot. Look at him, they're banging wheels, and he's going through. But Nigel's still on the inside. Then is he going to have the traction to go on the outside? We're going to have a look now. What? Oh my gosh, Granty there is still hanging on the outside. They're still side by side. And who is going to be? Let's take a look at their merger. Wow, and Granty is still in 4th position at the moment. Nigel is still 3rd. Granty then, of course, if he wants to take the lead in the championship today, he must get to 2nd, and that is 2.1 seconds away. But also, there's an Alfa Romeo blocking the road as well. As you can see, then Stringy 8th, Game Gang is in 9th position. Unfortunately, Farshot is out of the race as well. Is Granty going to have a look then, coming down the Wellington back straight, and Nigel there just taking a wider line. This battle is helping Jonathan Cox pull away, though, isn't it? At the moment. Now, Farshot then is so Sam is now in the points. He's aiming for his first point of his career at the moment in the Mercedes. So that's good stuff for Sam. But the wishbone is all over the back of him, as well. And so we're just going to take a quick look to see what's going on here. And that's what's going on. The wishbone has spun it, and that might give Sam the advantage there. We didn't see what entirely happened there, but Wishbone spun it, trying to attack Sam, and unfortunately Wishbone is Wishbone is dropped down to 3 seconds. He's still got 4 laps to it. He's on fresh tyres, and now Granty is gone on the outside, and that's a great move. He's through, and he's up into 3rd position. Then Granty is, so he is now up into 3rd. He's on the podium. He is now 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. He is 1 point away from Emerson at the moment. Can he get by Jonathan Cox and take the lead at the Drivers' Championship? Granty will be the 3rd man to lead the ALR Championship this season, if he can do that, though, of course. But Jonathan Cox is a very difficult cookie, isn't he? As him and Wishbone locked horns earlier on, and unfortunately Wishbone came off the worst of it, damaged his car. As Nigel, can't forget about Nigel, can you? Because Nigel at the moment is still in the facility at the moment, isn't he? The final podium. So you can't count out Nigel yet. Again, the battle for the final point is under a second. Remember, the penalties could come into play here as well. So Sam is going to be fighting for his life for that final point. His first point of his ALR career. And this has been a good drive there from Sam to keep himself out of trouble. And I think that we need to now focus on the battle for 2nd, and between Jonathan Cox and Granty. Farshot has joined us in the commentary box, and of course the harsh driver unfortunately out of the race. Whilst we're on a bit of, we will talk to him because they're in the law at the moment, because it's Nigel who's trying to go on the outside into Stowe. He is through, he's back up in the 3rd position, or is he? Oh no, I think there's contact. There's huge contact, and that's why Granty's out. Granty is out of the British Grand Prix, and that is a huge blow for the Renault driver. Oh no, so Granty is out, and all championship contenders have retired from this race. Oh dear, this has been a bit of a landmine of a race, hasn't it, for the championship rivals? Nosey didn't make it today. Emerson is out, and so is Farf, and so is Granty. This has been a very good day for Emerson, apart from the fact he only turned 9 corners, but he has still kept his championship intact at the moment. As we're coming to the final stage, we've got Farshot and Granty in the commentary box. We'll talk to them guys in just a few. Let's just take a quick look to see what's going on out there. So Lieutenant is on course for a famous win. He is 8.2 seconds in front of Jonathan Cox, who's 2nd. 3rd position is Nigel. 4th position is Dan Murphy. Silent is 5th. Elite is in 6th position. Stringy in 7th. Game Gang is 8th. 9th position is Wishbone, and 10th position is Sam. He will get a point now, so he's going to get a point on his first ever point in ALR history. Let's come to Farshot first. Farshot, unfortunate day today, by the looks of it. All was chaos at the beginning. What happened?
Oh, I went wide. That's only got attacked by another car that didn't look well where he was going.
Oh, and really,
I don't know which car, but I think Fisher or someone.
Oh, so and then from then on, really, it was a difficult uphill race, because I think he went in the hard tyres, but it seemed to be a point.
Yeah, but suddenly like I lost grip and hit the wall, and then I was done. I also got a 5-second time penalty for 1 kilometer too fast. Okay.
Yeah, pit lane is a bit brutal, isn't it, as well? Because it comes up quite quickly as well, the line, doesn't it? Here around Silverstone, a very, very difficult pit lane this one is. But that's really unfortunate then. So really, after the first lap, it was kind of like a stick on the hard tires and see what happened, really, wasn't it?
Well, I knew I could finish on the hard tire, but I also had a bit of issues with it, like overtaking Mr. Elite, for example. I went to the left, he right, but then came a bit to the left, and I hit him.
Who was that, sorry?
Mr. Elite.
Mr. Elite, was it? Oh, okay. Well,
he didn't crack me out, but I did by myself, but he didn't really defend. He tried to block me.
Okay. But unfortunately, I don't think we've seen that in the stream, really. So, but it seems like a very difficult race then for yourself, really, and that's been unfortunate, say. So unlucky for that fire shot. And let's come to Granty, and we did see the end of that battle between yourself and Nigel, where unfortunately you was in the ended up in the wall where Ericsson was a couple of years ago. What happened there? We'll come back to Gravity in just a few moments, as we're just watching Dan Lieutenant now coming on the final tour of the British Grand Prix. This is only his second race in ALR, and he took pole position by storm. I think him and Silent would have had an epic battle, but Silent had a couple of minor issues, didn't he, where he made mistakes. And we've only got 10 cars left then, out of the 18 that started. Gunnar out of the race. Then we had Exile and Emerson also tagged each other in cops as well. Favre had a difficult race. Fisher had a difficult race, as is Grant. He was also, him and Nigel locked horns, and unfortunately both ended up retiring. Well, Grant ended up retiring, unfortunately. And now Lieutenant then is coming on to the final sector of the lap. He's done a flawless job, hasn't he, Lieutenant has? Really was, from pole position, and he's even going fast on this lap as well, so he just shows the amount of the life left in the tyres at the moment. Jonathan Cox there might be under a bit of pressure for second position at the moment, but Lieutenant then is coming through the final couple of corners, and he is going to win his first ever ALR race. This has been a magnificent season, and he comes through the final corner, goes a bit wide there over the sausage curve, and Lieutenant wins the British Grand Prix in the McLaren. Fantastic stuff from Lieutenant there. Jonathan Cox there, brilliant drive. I think that might be driver of the day, from 17th to 2nd. And Murphy gets on the podium. He is in 3rd position there. So Murphy gets on the podium there. Nigel is dropped down to 4th then, but a good drive nonetheless. Silent shifting, be very disappointed with 5th position at the end. Very disappointed for the guy who was on the front row. He was looking strong, wasn't it? Really matching Lieutenant. Mr. Elite, 6th position, from 18th to 6th in the Ferrari. I think he might want to be in the front more all the time. Stringy in 7th position at the end. He's got a 5-second penalty, but I don't think that will hurt him, because Game Gang then, of course, in his second race as well, he comes through in the Toro Rosso, and he is going to finish. Well, him and the Game Gang is 8th, and Wishbone is in 9th position at the end. And here comes Sam on getting his first ever point of ALR. Here he comes around the final corner, and he gets 10th position. Oh, brilliant driving from Sam there to keep it on the straight and narrow. And we had 8 retirements in the end then. And we had 7 retirements and 1 car that didn't make it on the grid then. Let's just take a quick look at the podium side of race as well. As John Cox is very happy there in the comment section. He's straight in there straight away, and this might get himself back on track in the title. Look at that though, incredible stuff from Lieutenant there. In his second race, he wins for McLaren. That's McLaren's second win of the season as well. Brilliant stuff there. McLaren can now can really build on this as well. Jonathan Cox can now build on that success as well after a very difficult few races. And of course Dan Murphy there also back on the podium as well, and in 3rd for Ferrari. Let's just take a look at the final.
What is good?
let's just take a look at the final classification from the British Grand Prix. Lieutenant didn't even get a penalty. Fantastic stuff. So he won. Brilliant stuff. Jonathan Cox second from 17th on the grid to second. Magnificent stuff. Murphy finishes third in the end. Nigel up in the fourth. Great stuff. Silent shift and a difficult day for Silent today, but he managed to bring it home in fifth, so I think he should be happy with that. Mr. Elite from 18th on the grid to 6th. Brilliant stuff. Stringy in 7th position, carrying on his point streak at the moment. 8th position is Game Gang in the Toro Rosso. 9th is Wishbone. 10th is Sam getting his first points of his ALR career, and the rest of them were retirements then. And a very, very dramatic British Grand Prix. This Grand Prix was very, very difficult for the drivers, wasn't it? The top four, none of the top four drivers scored today. It was absolutely incredible stuff. And we've got a couple of drivers that have just thrown themselves into the chat now, and we'll go through well, let's go to Granty, because we were going to talk to him in the race before Lieutenant came across the line. Granty, your battle with yourself and Nigel, unfortunately you ended up in the wall. What happened there? We'll come back to Granty. Let's go to I think probably the most happiest driver in this party, and that's Dan Murphy. Great driving, considering the fact that you're probably hanging out your out of your bed. I just remember what I was talking about then. Brilliant race today for yourself. A podium position here today. How about that?
I know, it was a good race. My tyres kept overheating, so I didn't think I'd get anywhere near the top 3, but I finished third and can't be unhappy with that, especially with a hangover.
Yeah, I was going to say we did mention about that a couple of times in the qualifying session, and I think that you should be happy with that, definitely, because I think in terms of the point situation, that has given you a slight lift, but you're still